I'm Kier.
I'm Haley.
And I'm Jay from Gallifrey Public Radio,
a podcast member of the Gonna Geek Network.
Just like the one you're listening to right now.
The opinions expressed are those of each individual.
Check out all the other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
And get ready, because geekiness begins in 3,
2,
1.
You have been granted clearance by Director Phil Coulson. Stand by for S.H.I.E.L.D. debriefing. All information to be discussed here is classified and may only be discussed among agents granted clearance by the S.H.I.E.L.D. Director.
Now it's time for your scheduled debriefing. I'm Agent Stargate Pioneer.
I'm Agent Haley.
I'm Agent Lauren.
And I'm Jay Whitten, Avocado at Law.
Welcome to Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., a Marvel Comic Universe podcast. This is podcast number 87 on Daredevil Season 1, Episode 12, The Ones We Leave Behind. This podcast is recorded on Wednesday, August 26th, 2015. Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a fan-based podcast on the ABC television show Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel's Agent Carter, Marvel's Daredevil on Netflix, and the general Marvel Comic Universe.
Because of Dub Smash Wars.
If you'd like to talk to us about Dub Smash Wars, you can find us at our website, legendsofshield.com. You can also reach us at our voicemail, 844-THE-BUS-1. That's 844-843-2871. You can find us at our Facebook, Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., our Twitter, at Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., our Tumblr, legendsofshield.tumblr.com, our YouTube, Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., and our forums, forums.gonnageek.com, or search Gonna Geek on the Tapatalk app.
This time on Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., we're going to welcome back Mr. J to the podcast. We're going to talk a little bit about our Ant-Man Marvel Crate giveaway. There's a little slight change, so keep tuned in on that. We're going to talk about Daredevil, The Ones We Leave Behind. We're going to talk about all your weekly comic book news in Neil's Mighty Marvel Moment. Yes, it's back this week. We're going to talk about the rest of the Marvel news and your feedback. So, Mr. J. Whitten, Avocado at Law. So, do you when you have chips, do you dip it on your leg or something?
I'm just going to say, you guys are going to have to come up with a new title for me when I come back next time when the Daredevil thing's over, because it's not going to be as funny then.
You're the one that came up with the title. You can come up with something else that's funny.
Avocados at Law is always funny.
Be clever. We've got other things to do.
Fine, I'm giving myself a promotion. I'm not director.
No, that's me.
I think that position's filled.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That's how it worked on the show.
You got to go start your own S.H.I.E.L.D.
I'm going to have a board of directors that's going to elect me director, and then you have to listen to us because, we listen to stuff.
You know what? Now you're the janitor. How does that feel?
The only way you could start your own S.H.I.E.L.D. is if you have your own aircraft carrier.
How do you know I don't?
No, you can get a really big boat.
I live in Texas. They hand that stuff out with Happy Meals. Come on.
Jay, welcome back to the podcast. It is always exciting to have you on, and we're rip-roaring to talk some Daredevil with you tonight.
Absolutely. This is I love coming back to talk about this series. It's fantastic.
It is. So, slight tangent right now. We're going to talk a little bit about our Ant-Man Marvel Crate giveaway. Because there has been a delay in the production of the episodes to be released, not naming names, Mr. Director, Stargate Pioneer, we need to move it back, so we will be giving it away at the end of September. We are still going to give it away, and all you have to do is give us some sort of feedback on a funny review of Ant-Man. Right, Haley?
Yes, you can do that through Twitter, Facebook, comment on the blog. You can do a forum comment. You could hit us up with an iTunes review. You could call and leave us a voicemail. You could send us a carrier pigeon. Mm-hmm. Smoke signals.
My dog might eat the pigeon, but you can try.
Skywriting.
Send me the carrier pigeon, because then I'm going to keep the pigeon.
I would like to.
Or you could send it to me, because I actually know how to take care of a carrier pigeon. So having done that before.
That's right, you have. I forgot about that. If you
I have many skills.
If you do it via skywriting, make sure you take a picture. Make sure you take a picture and then tweet it or message or email it.
No. Send the plane to us.
I would like the plane. I could fly the plane. Not going to say if I could land it or not, but I can fly the plane. So
Hey, one way or another, the plane winds up on the ground every time.
No, not every time. Like, what if there's a big wormhole in the sky that takes you somewhere else in space?
In like a Farscape
better.
type
Okay,
situation.
fine. Unless your name's Amelia Earhart, then your plane gets on the ground.
Dude, they found that. Don't joke about that. They found her.
Weird.
Well, they did. They found her. And, yeah, it was on an island. So she spent her last days on a Pacific island.
There's worse places to be.
Exactly. I mean, what could be wrong about that? So, there you go. Anyway, the Ant-Man Marvel Crate, lots of good stuff in there. T-shirt, Funko, Pop Funkos, comics, stuff like that. I will send it anywhere.
A pin, a little iron-on patch.
And there will be more coming because the anonymous donor has continued his or her patronage of the podcast. So we still have more to give away after this is over as well.
I can actually enter this one because I finally saw Ant-Man.
Yeah, and if you saw Fantastic Four, we're going to have to put you in some sort of restraints.
I'm not a masochist now.
Okay.
No, but I will say, though, that I think I've done it correctly because now we'll go driving around town, and even my 4-year-old, as soon as he sees one, he just looks up and goes, Baskin-Robbins, always finds out.
Aww.
All right. So, talking about wonderful Marvel content, the penultimate Daredevil episode of Season 1, The Ones We Leave Behind. It was...
I've been waiting all summer to say that, guys.
This is actually the second time I've said it this summer, because I've also said it on another podcast that I do. Hey, this is the week I get to say penultimate. Yay! Okay, so it was written by Douglas Petrie, who has quite the extensive IMDb. Have you seen his IMDb roll?
I've seen his work.
Yes, I would hope that you would. He's done Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Charlie's Angels, American Horror Stories. He's a co-executive producer on Daredevil. Of course, you've seen his work. He's done a great job. And you've also seen the director, and I'm just going to completely butcher this name, so I'm going to turn it over to some of the other...
I'm guessing it's pronounced Euros Lynn, but he is very Welsh. Like, on his directing credits, the second thing on there is something with a Welsh title.
Yeah. The Broadchurch, he did that. Doctor Who, Torchwood. So the man has some geek cred to him, and the pair pulled it off this week. It was an exciting, suspenseful episode. What did you think about it, Jay?
This is one of those that it helps to tie everything up and get it. It's a staging episode, basically, where everything is coming to a point, you're getting everything right where it needs to be so that you can have the explosive finale in the next episode. So but I mean, even knowing that, even sitting there and watching it, being able to say, yes, this is all basically set up for the next episode, it still keeps you engaged, and it still makes it exciting, which is a hard thing to do when you're trying to wrap up a series.
Haley, what'd you think?
I really enjoyed this episode. We get a lot of Wilson Fisk brutally attacking people.
Wilson Frisk.
You're just a
It's frisky.
That's his porn name.
It's what Wesley called him.
Oh, God. Oh, man, poor Wesley. I'm still not over that.
Oh, do you think that was a body double, like a mannequin, or do you think that was really him?
I was wondering about that when I was live tweeting it yesterday. And they're having this long conversation, and the guy is just lying there, and I'm like, do you think he just went to sleep or something? Like, I know on Game of Thrones there's this one episode where there's a funeral, and they actually got the guy who played this particular character, who I will not say on account of maybe there's somebody who doesn't follow spoilers and stuff. But he's like, yeah, no, it was kind of nice. I was just there, had a nice nap. But of course, that guy was lying down. This guy's sitting at this weird, awkward angle, covered in stage blood.
You know what it is they wound up wrapping an episode or something, and everybody decided that they were going to get together and drink. And this guy just wound up passing out in the chair, and they're like, guys, Toby passed out. Quick, get the fake blood. I've got an idea. It was all a prank that just went horribly out of control.
And then he woke up right when Wilson was kissing him, and then he kissed him back.
Now my heart will go on in my head. Like, seriously, I'm going to have to go through and rewatch all of their scenes now that I've, like, formulated this whole, no, I really think that he was, yes, he was loyal to Wilson because he's like, yeah, you're my friend. But, again, I really think there is this, like, deeper love here, at least one-sided. And Wilson, like, respected him and everything. And he's like, yeah, he's this really competent guy, and he's my friend and everything. But, I'm sorry, he was my friend!
I was telling the guys before we started recording that I know you've talked about it before, that the audio descriptive track on these things is absolutely amazing, and it is fantastic for when you're trying to watch the episode again before you start recording and you're in the car. You just open Netflix up on your phone and toss it into your passenger seat, and you're getting the full effect.
Yes, you do.
And it's amazing. It is very well done, but the scene where Fisk is dealing with finding Wesley's body is very, very uncomfortable to listen to, because the descriptive track is like he kisses Wesley affectionately on the forehead and brushes his hair with his blood-soaked hand, and it's just like, this is not okay.
It's sad. It's just, oh man. I mean, I know they're the bad guys and they've done terrible things, but these were friends. They were close. I'm one of those people who's like, why can't everybody just live together happily and nobody ever hurts anyone and everybody has a happy ending? And of course, if that was the case, then we'd never have good entertainment ever, because there has to be some conflict.
We wouldn't have Hell's Kitchen, first of all. I mean, the whole premise of that place is a...
Well, I mean, and then you have nowadays where there's like artisanal mayonnaise, but, for the purposes of this show and the comics that... it grew up out of, yeah.
Guest 561 in the chat said, Wesley and Fisk have an interchangeable father-son relationship.
Yeah, I can see that. There's one of them will take care of the other and kind of shuffle them along, and the other will do. And I can see that.
I don't necessarily know if I would want Fisk's affection, because if you work for him and he just gets this urge, he's going to beat the crap out of you.
But if you work for him and he likes you, I mean, good stuff will happen for you.
For a little bit.
Beat the crap out of his own guys just because they did what you told them to.
He was having a moment. He was having a moment, okay, guys?
I'm glad Leland was there. He's like, dude, stop. He just did what he was told. What are you doing?
It's like Leland's one moment of sense.
Well, and what... Did he think he wasn't going to get turned on and get pummeled? I guess the money man, you got to keep him from getting harmed. I guess. I don't know. It's not a shield.
You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? Oh, you hit a guy with glasses.
Very clever.
I was watching
Ralph reference for the win.
I was watching it right before Daredevil.
And then Italians never insult their moms, never, attack their moms.
Never insult their mother?
No.
Or their mother's cooking.
My mother! My mother! I'm like, oh my gosh. Ben, ugh.
Just, wow, yeah.
Would it have mattered?
This whole episode is just brutal, like, emotionally.
Would it have mattered if he said that somebody else was there with him? I mean...
No.
No. I don't think it mattered either way. Mm-mm. He's doomed.
Yeah, I mean, that all that would have done was given Fisk someone to go and find afterwards. He's still...
All the goodbyes that Karen was saying last week... It was Ben this week, but it wasn't as hit you over the head with it. Like, he said goodbye to his wife, he said goodbye to Karen, he said goodbye, he got fired from the office, so I guess inherently he said goodbye to those people. But, so he said goodbye to everybody, and then he get killed. So that is exactly what did not happen to Karen last episode. And, the gun in the river, or the bay, or whatever it is there, that's never going to come back on her.
Well... I mean, on the one hand, this being a story it'll be like, oh yeah, someone find it. On the other, I want to say that there was some study published a few years ago about how many guns and things like that have been thrown into that river, and it's a ridiculous number.
Right.
So really, it's just one more lost gun that was probably been used in something shady in a million other, like not even a million, like just innumerable other.
Even show
Like
it
there's
to
enough
us,
that
though.
there's enough that it's like raised like levels of the trace metals in the water or something.
Well, why even show it us to? Why even show it to us that she is throwing it into the? It's going to come back. I mean,
Well, that to show that she was smart enough to take it with her, get rid of it, not have it on her, not leave it at the scene, not have it in her apartment.
Yeah.
Well, even if you leave it at the scene, as long as you wiped it down for prints, you should be fine.
perhaps.
The one thing that I kept on thinking throughout that whole scene was like when she got back to her apartment, started chugging the alcohol and stuff. I'm like, yeah, clearly not filled with the mighty eel strength this time.
No.
Oh my.
And that whole scene just kind of further cemented me thinking, yeah, she has never killed anyone before.
I don't know.
She's freaking out. She's drinking because she needs to not be there. She's showering because she needs to get the feel of everything off of her. She needs to, and then she has that nightmare. She's just not mentally or emotionally prepared to deal with the aftermath.
If I had nightmares like that, I would never drink again. Ever. Which is kind of what I'm forced to do now. But I've never had those nightmares.
That was not a confession, people. Calm down.
Yeah, just that. Yeah, I feel so bad for Karen.
Yeah. And then she's forced again, continually, in between Foggy and Matt. And it's like, awkward.
Yeah. Have y'all ever been in that situation where there's these two people that you're close to or you work closely with, and they're just acting they're refusing to talk to each other, so you're like the one who has to be the go-between? It's the most annoying thing in the world, and when you're forced in that situation while you're dealing with your own stuff, it's horrible.
Yeah, I've been there. It sucks.
And she copes a little by she was there for Matt, and they had that little moment, right? Mm-hmm. And there was a little moment with Foggy too, who is obviously good in bed. Yeah, I mean, it's got to. It must be the only way that he gets somebody like that, because Well,
I mean, she tipped him with information, so apparently he is good at sex.
Apparently. Mm-hmm. So hats off to you, Mr. Foggy. Way to go.
It's Senior Foggy. Get it right.
Senior Foggy.
Senior Foggy.
Avocado at law.
Sex god. Sex avocado? I don't...
That sounds messy.
Yeah. That sounds like something that...
Deadpool trailer.
I was going to say that sounds like something that you'd put in a microwave for a little bit.
It got messier.
There's always more, and it's always worse.
It is like a mess that has been heated up.
Okay, so I was thinking about this when I was watching Daredevil run the rooftops, right? He's pulling moves out that were just fantastic.
Okay, he threw away his cane. How many of those does he have?
He's got a closet full of them.
I think he just orders them in bulk online.
He went right back to get it. He could smell it.
Oh, okay. Because he's they're not really rolling in it at this point. They're getting paid in favors and booze. How is he buying all these canes?
Because,
I was going to say, maybe he took all the ones from that factory, but then this was when he was looking for the heroin factory.
His dad made a lot of money on that bet. A lot of money. He's still living off of it.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like, you have the trust fund kids, and he's the, shady gambling deal kid.
He was just really smart with the way he invested it. That was the first lesson he got from Stick.
Start putting or
The second lesson was parkour.
I know, that was just amazing. Some of that stuff didn't look human, like the flips through the gaps of the roofs and stuff. I was like, wow, amazing. So anyway, he's running across the rooftops and he's running against a car, and I'm thinking, another guy I've seen in another universe does similar sorts of stuff, Stephen Amell, and I was thinking, in a fist fight, no arrows, Stephen Amell versus Charlie Cox, who do you think?
Oh my God! Just let them take their shirts off and go at it. Either way, I win.
They can both have oozing chest wounds too, because
Oh, great!
Oh,
The best part.
It pretty much is, yeah. Just by the way, the oozing wound on Matt's side has been there since what, like episode 3, something like that.
Because he keeps ripping it open every time he turns around.
Yeah, that thing that's not healthy.
I think.
Well, yeah, it's hard for those things to heal up when you're flipping through the city.
Well, didn't he get that meat cleaver in his side when Nobu went after? I mean, I think that's a new wound. Or
Yeah, that's where that one came from. So that was like episode.
I didn't know if that was for some reason I was thinking that's the same one that Claire stitched up. And then it's just kept ripping open because he's an idiot who doesn't know how to.
No, this is a different one from when he was an idiot and didn't put on body armor.
He's working on it. It's
the same one. He finally got it to the point where it closed up, and he was like, "I can actually move now." And that's when the little cleaver thing hit the exact same spot.
Same spot.
He just has terrible luck.
So Gao's got some force to her. Holy crap!
Oh,
I
wow,
didn't remember seeing that.
Yeah. That whole scene, I forgot a good chunk of that scene. And that whole bit, and I keep wanting to call it the meth lab, but it's not meth, and it's not really a lab.
It's heroin, and it's a distribution center.
Exactly.
It sounds fancy when you say it that way.
It's a professional business she's running here.
Yeah, it's high quality stuff. It's not, bathtub meth.
That lady.
Okay, so when she was walking through her line of blinded workers, I was thinking she's moving like a cartoon character.
Yes!
A little bit.
And then later when I saw her moving, I was like, she reminds me of Yoda.
Yes, that's
the
it,
third
exactly.
movie. And then she goes total ninja mode, and I was like, she is Yoda.
She's totally Yoda.
Totally. That was
She's
amazing.
like heroin Yoda.
It's like,
Oh,
holy
no,
crap.
Yoda didn't deal heroin.
We don't, actually.
Well, it was some sort of swamp juice.
But, she's going home. China is a considerable
literally
distance far.
Oh, it could have been Dagobah. I see where you're going now.
Is Yoda.
Kunlun is Dagobah. Which, okay, by the way, Steel Serpent, I kept trying to remember when this came up so that I could bring this up. Steel Serpent in the comics is the name of Iron Fist's nemesis, kind of. Like, the guy that... okay, what I always think of it from is the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. When they're all teenagers and they're, you have Principal Coulson and everything. There's this one episode where Iron Fist goes back to Kunlun and Steel Serpent is there, and he's voiced by Rufio from Hook.
Nice.
Well, Zuko and everything from Avatar. But he plays Steel Serpent. And so anytime I think of Steel Serpent, now I associate him with Rufio.
Rufio.
And, yeah, that much like the Iron...
Yeah.
Okay, Haley, or actually any of y'all who might know, I'm pretty sure that symbol of the serpent that's on the little heroin packets, I'm pretty sure that much like a dragon is on, is tattooed or burned on Iron Fist's chest, Steel Serpent has that on his.
I thought it was a question mark, personally, but...
No, it was a little...
It's a serpent.
Yeah.
Totally missed that.
So is this, I really wonder how this is going to be connected to the Kunlun stuff. Is this Steel Serpent's, thing? Is Steel Serpent not a character and just the name of this? I want to know! I want to know!
I mean, they've done that kind of thing before, though, haven't they? Like, where they take something that is an established character in the comic and turn it into something different. I can't think of an example right now, but, I remember that's actually happened before in the Marvel Universe, where it's a minor character or something off to the side that's probably never going to get used, so it kind of gets name checked. I know this is a thing.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
I just, that might be what it is. It's like, well, we're not actually going to bring this character to the screen, so let's give it a name check for people like Lauren to pick up on.
Like the Mandarin.
10 rings, 10 rings. So, Fisk is moving his mom, and all she cares about is Zupa and TV, and he keeps asking her about the phone call, whatever, and all of a sudden she knows what he's getting at. And then, did you think that she just claimed that she didn't know what was going on?
No, if you've ever had a relative or known anybody with dementia, they'll have moments of lucidity. Mm-hmm. Like my grandpa, right before he died, he hadn't recognized me for about 5 years, and right before he died, he was like, he remembered that I was his granddaughter. He couldn't remember my name, but he remembered I was his granddaughter. So every now and then you'll have somebody have a moment like that, where it's just this moment of lucidity, and you just have to kind of catch them at the right moment. And I think it was probably something like that.
Yeah. Because she turned away and she was like, oh, I don't want to answer this question. That's what it looked like to me. Right.
And that might have been what it was. She might have had that thought, but then slipped right back out of it and wouldn't have been able to answer anyway.
It might have been like this feeling of, I know that when he gets like this, bad things happen or something unpleasant happens, but I don't remember what. But then she might have forgotten that. Like, again, it's, I don't know. That's how I interpreted it anyway.
Okay. So you guys have anything else for the episode that you want to talk about?
No. I think we've covered everything I had.
Okay, Haley, you got some quotes?
Real quick, the whole, and this might be in the quotes with Haley, but you need a better outfit. I'm working on it.
A couple of things. First of all, when Matt was walking through the heroin factory, not a factory, it was almost like he was sniffing their scars. Is that what it looked like to you?
That is exactly what it looked like to me.
Okay. And then how long was Fisk sitting in Ben's apartment?
Creepily long. I can imagine him just sitting there wait, he's got to be here any time now. Taking out his phone, playing.
Man, this guy works long hours.
He got tired of playing Angry Birds.
Takes a nap.
Goes to the kitchen, gets a snack, comes back. All right.
That's why he had to kill him. He didn't want Matt or Ben realizing he went raided for his fridge.
Yeah.
So what else we got?
Quotes.
Let's do it.
Karen, did something happen? Yes. The world fell apart. Didn't you notice?
Yes. Mm-hmm. The world was falling apart the whole time, yep.
Yep. Maybe this isn't the best time to be beating your men to death.
Yeah. The whole Leland thing, yeah. It's like, Fisk, come on, man. What are you doing?
He was having a moment.
Yeah, still. I mean, who's going to want to work for him then?
Leslie.
Yeah, she's a real mule.
Yeah. Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
And that's all I had this time.
All right. So, really looking forward to the end of Daredevil next week with the episode titled Daredevil. And it's been building to it for the last few episodes. Admittedly, they've been a little slower on the whole, but we are definitely going to get to it in force next week, so can't wait for that. And in the meantime, before we move on, Lauren, you have a little announcement to make, don't you?
Yes, I do. So anybody who follows me on Twitter might have seen every now and then I'll talk about, hey, I'm doing voices. Here's a thing. I'm practicing an Icelandic accent. And I'm not just doing it for fun. Well, it is for fun, but I'm not just doing it to sit, in front of my computer and babble at myself in a bad Icelandic accent. I am actually taking part in another podcast. It's sort of a radio play called Friend of the Family. And if you like dark humor, if you like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, urban fantasy, vampires, that sort of thing, give us a look. You can find us on iTunes, or our website is strangeandunusual.com. That's STRANGEN unusual, UNUSUAL.com. And give us a listen. I'm a bunch of random voices, and I try to sound different. So, yeah, let me know how we're doing. I'll appreciate it.
It's awesome. So
it's fun.
Yes, fun is what it's all about, and that's awesome. And looking forward to hearing about it. All right, we have another rendition coming at you that a lot of people love. Are you guys ready to go into it?
Ready.
Alrighty, we teased it before the break. We are at it now. Neil came back after a few weeks off and gave us one heck of a Neil's Mighty Marvel moment. Jay, are you ready to hear some awesomeness?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, here we go.
Hi agents, Neil here with your Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. Marvel moment covering new releases from August 23rd, 2015. There were a whole ton of new books that came out this week, so what are we waiting for? Let's get into it. Starting outside the Secret Wars continuity, first up this week is Guardians Team Up number 10, which pairs everyone's favorite Merc-with-a-Mouth Deadpool with Rocket Raccoon in a fast-paced, fourth-wall-breaking adventure as the unlikely pair take on Macho Gomez and some wacky space bounty hunters. Silk number 6 leads up to the Incursion event, and the issue managed to balance great action scenes with some really gripping emotion as the Black Cat storyline wraps up. What really shines through is writer Robbie Thompson's portrayal of how Cindy finally opens up to Peter and confronts some of her deeper issues. I guarantee it will get you right in the feels. Loki, Agent of Asgard number 10, is actually my pick of the week this week, and it effectively wraps up the storyline with Loki at the end of the universe. Okay, warning, it's really text heavy, but the writing is beautiful, and we get glimpses into not only the human condition, but also into the very nature of Loki himself, both as a storyteller and a trickster. It's a beautiful ending, and one that sets up exciting possibilities as well as new beginnings. Now, let's dive back into Secret Wars. Age of Ultron vs. Marvel Zombies number 3 continues the tale of the 1872 Hank Pym struggling to understand how a future Hank Pym created Ultron, all the while set against a ticking clock of an impending attack on Sanctuary by the combined and hybrid forces of the Marvel Zombies and the Ultron Hordes. Despite this tension, this story felt like a bit of a setup for what's to come, but overall it's a solid issue, and I'll take as much Wonder Man as Marvel will give me. If you really crave the Wild West, then pick up 1872 issue number 2, which continues the Western take on the Marvel Universe. As with much of Secret Wars, it's fun to see how characters we all know and love are reinterpreted, and seeing Sheriff Rogers and Judge Nelson set against a Kingpin ripped right out of the Deadwood series definitely puts a smile on my face. And, just in case you wanted more 1872, this week, Runaways number 3 sees our escapees from Doom's Academy for Gifted Youth fleeing to the 1872 portion of Battleworld while the Winter Soldier is in hot pursuit. As you would expect, hilarity ensues in this Wild West romp. On the other side of the technological spectrum, Armor Wars number 3 continues the story of who killed the Spider-Man of Technopolis. One of the things I loved about this series when it launched was the fresh take on Tony Stark. But by the end of this issue, it feels like we're back where we started before Secret Wars, which is a bit disappointing because I'm a fan of Tony when he's less of a jerk. Captain Britain and the Mighty Defenders number 2 finishes this short series, which focuses on She-Hulk and Dr. Fazia Hussein, a character which was first introduced in the Captain Britain and MI-13 miniseries. Fazia is a lesser-known character in the Marvel Universe, but I have to hand it to Marvel for showcasing her. She's a strong female character who is first and foremost a physician, while also being an observant Muslim and wielding Excalibur in the defense of England. I'm sad to see this story end so quickly, but I hope she'll be back when the Marvel Universe relaunches in the fall. Guardians of Nowhere number 3 by Brian Michael Bendis continues the story of the post-Black Vortex Guardians of the Galaxy and the Thor incarnation of Angela, Asgard's assassin, as they face off against Yondat and Murr. This issue really amps up the action and moves the story forward, and I can't wait to see where it goes next. House of M number 1 also came out this week, and it gives us a look at a reality where King Magnus rules and where humans are hunted and killed by former X-Men and members of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, as well as by human-hunting Sentinels. While the story doesn't feel as weighty as the original House of M, this issue does set up some interesting conflict, and I'm definitely going to hang around and see where it goes. Okay, let me be straight with you. Secret Wars, Secret Love number 1 is not going to be for everyone. Marvel takes a break from the usual with a slightly longer book that collects 5 short romance stories, drawn in a variety of styles, and focusing on different couples across the Marvel Universe. While Iron Fist and Misty Knight on a Date Night was a close second, my favorite story of the collection goes to Squirrel Girl and Thor. Trust me, you have to read it to believe it. Secret Wars Journal number 4 snaps us back into the grim reality of Battleworld with 2 short stories. In the first, the Punisher with his new partner Iron Fist patrol the S.H.I.E.L.D. wall and deal with an Ultron incursion with unforeseen consequences. This version of the Punisher stands out as he's from the Egyptia corner of Battleworld, and his Egyptian-inspired blaster staff will definitely have SP pining for Stargate SG-1. I wasn't as big a fan of the second story, which focuses on Psylocke and the tough decisions she has to make in rescuing Northstar from a mutant internment camp. As with many of the books in the series, the ending is bittersweet. Inferno number 4 looks at New York as it is consumed by the demonic forces of hell, brought about as a result of Colossus's sister, Illyana Rasputin, giving into her dark child aspect. It has a nice cameo by Longshot before splitting and looking at the 2 factions led by Colossus and Cyclops. The demons are cartoony in a demonic sort of way, but the tension is kept throughout the story, including an inevitable confrontation. For Spidey fans, Spider-Verse number 4 and The Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows number 4 both came out this week. Issue 4 of Renew Your Vows is my favorite issue of the run, and it finally showcases what Annie Parker can do. And I love the panels where Hawkeye and Mockingbird are fighting side by side with the Resistance to take on the Regent's forces. Over in the Spider-Verse, we get more great Gwen and Peter scenes, as well as the rest of the Spiders in a race against Mayor Osborn. And yeah, I never get tired of Peter Porker. Howard the Human number 1, Extinction Agenda number 3, and Weird World number 3 also came out this week, but I didn't pick up those titles, so hop over to the forums and tell me what I missed. That's it for new releases. Now let's dive into the long boxes where we crack open the Mylar and take a look at a classic back issue. As a result of getting sucked into a Doctor Strange related project over the weekend, my long box pick this week is the graphic novel Doctor Strange Into the Dark Dimension, which collects Doctor Strange issues 68 through 74 from December 1984. This trade collects a classic Doctor Strange storyline, dealing with his relationship with Dane Whitman, aka the Black Knight, and also reuniting with Clea to mount a rebellion in the Dark Dimension against her mother, Uma. We also revisit the origin of the classic Doctor Strange villain, Dormammu, and at the end of the book there's a follow-up story to the first Secret Wars, which has the Beyonder hanging out with the Sorcerer Supreme, trying to make sense of life, the universe, and everything. Given that we're probably going to be getting more Doctor Strange news as we get closer to the Benedict Cumberbatch movie and the obvious Secret Wars tie-in, this book felt oddly appropriate this week. Again, that's Doctor Strange Into the Dark Dimension, collecting Doctor Strange issues 68 through 74 from 1984. That's it for this week, folks. As always, if I've missed a release, head over to the forums and share your thoughts, or send in a voicemail to the Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. crew. Later, guys!
That was so cool. It's so great to have Neil back in the saddle. It's great. And guess what I'm going to be reading tonight? Secret Wars Journal number 4.
Yay! I'm waiting for Secret Wars, Secret Love to drop in price a little before I pick it up.
Yeah.
It looks adorable.
Oh, man.
And plus, what the writer of the Danny...
Come on, say it right.
Of the Danny Rand Misty Knight story, also writes another comic that I like, Princeless. So,
What's that about?
Princeless is about a princess who was locked in a tower, as you do when your princess goes through puberty and becomes of marrying age, only to find that a sword was also snuck in with her, and she becomes friends with the dragon and busts out and decides to go rescue other princesses. And it's a lot of fun and has its own spin-off now, Raven the Pirate Princess.
Yeah.
And it's seriously a lot of fun.
What was it? Howard? I'm trying to remember what.
Howard the Human.
Howard the Human.
Yes.
Well, Neil, thank you very much for that. Jay, do you have anything to add about this great stuff?
No, I mean, it's been fantastic listening to Neil break the stuff down, because I tried very hard to stick with all the Secret Wars stuff, and I had it for like the first 2 weeks, and then things started to slip through the cracks, and it's just, I haven't been able to catch up yet. So hearing him every week talk about what's going on is just absolutely fantastic. I love it.
The other night before we started Get a Geek, Chris was like, how does he have time to read all that? So, Neil, thank you very much, and we hope to hear from you again next week. Woohoo! All right, are you guys ready to get into some news?
Yar.
Yep.
Well, to start off, I have to give our hats off to our pal over at Tyrion's Landing, Miss Jeannie. She tweeted us this story. And that's how I picked it up. I saw it, and it is the start of the Dub Smash War. To the death!
To the death!
So what we got going, Lauren?
Okay, so I think we've covered it on the cast before, that during this summer's con season, we've had the Battle of the Dub Smashes between Haley Atwell and James Darcy on Team Carter, and the cast of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as led by Chloe Bennett and I keep wanting to say Phil Coulson, but that's not his real name.
That is his real name. That is his real Director Coulson.
Director Coulson.
His first name is Agent.
His first name is Agent. And so they were going back and forth and one-upping each other, and it all ended with, most recently, with Clark Gregg dressed as Agent Carter with the blue suit skirt and the red hat and lipstick.
Lots of lipstick.
And with Chris Evans making an appearance and making out with Haley Atwell. Woohoo! Chris Evans, by the way, dressed in his Civil War, costume.
I believe it was on the set of Civil War. When
it was awesome. Mm-hmm. So they decided that in order to decide once and for all who was the most dub smashiest, there has to be some sort of
the winner of the dub smash.
The winner,
Internet king and queen. That's
to the death.
They're going to do a final dub smash battle, and they're going to have people vote by donating money to charity.
Oh yeah, and
so every dollar is a vote.
Mm-hmm. They do have charities in mind, and then the winners and the losers will do some outrageous stuff like the dub smash of the choosing of the winners, and they have to give $2,000 to the charity. So it is all for fun. This is great. This is why I like the Marvel Universe so much, because they find something that people think is entirely entertaining, and they just take it to that next level of giving back. It is great. I love it.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And so which side are we on, guys?
To the death!
Oh.
I gotta go with the modern S.H.I.E.L.D. pair, but that's just me.
I gotta go with Team Carter.
Yeah?
I kind of love Haley Atwell a lot.
I know, right?
I know, but Clark Gregg has definitely done some smashingly outrageous stuff, so...
It's a really tough one, but I kind of gotta go Team Carter on this one.
And the only caveat I have is Grant Ward just has to stay out of it. Brett Dalton, I don't want to say.
He's, I think, been the camera guy on a couple of theirs.
Yeah, because he knows it's just what everybody wants, behind the camera, not in front of it.
And then...
poor guy.
On some of them, you see... what's the name of the guy with the shirt allergy that hasn't had a shirt allergy this past season?
Yeah, Haley, the CW guy.
Stephen Amell?
No. The guy, the Inhuman.
Oh, I don't remember his name.
He's from the CW 100.
Yeah,
right?
I know who you're talking about. Luke something? No, Luke is the name of his character on that other show. I don't remember.
But there's been a couple of the Dove Smashes where he's recording. Lincoln's his character name, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, Adam said Lincoln, but doesn't remember the actor's name. So, Mr.
Mitchell?
Lincoln.
Or is that a character?
There it is. That's it.
Took 4 of us. Wow.
I have been drinking Angry Orchard this whole time.
I see. The truth comes out.
So, but anyway, he's been recording a bunch of the Dove Smashes from other angles. So you see something that looks perfectly fine when it's on a video, and then you look at it from another angle, and you're like, oh, this is how these people are doing it, and it looks silly, and I love them. And he's just there, like, rolling his eyes, and it's pretty great.
Talking about Inhumans on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we got our glimpse into a new Inhuman, Mr. Lash.
Yes. So, actor Matt Willig will play the Inhuman character Lash this coming season. And if you look at the art, he's kind of a big spiky guy. And Matt Willig, amusingly enough, has another connection to the Marvel Universe.
What is it?
He voiced Juggernaut in something else that I'm forgetting because I've been drinking Angry Orchard all week. But he was the voice of Juggernaut in another Marvel thing.
Angry Orchard should sponsor the cast, because I love me some Angry Orchard.
Yeah.
It's so good. Okay. Angry Balls. It's great. You get the Angry Orchard, you put some Fireball whiskey in it.
I've heard of this, yes.
It's really good, right? Especially I have the apple ginger kind.
You're killing me right now. You're killing me.
Kill me, Smalls. Kill me.
But yes, he's been in a bunch of other stuff. Not really much that I've seen. But
And from what I read in the article, Lash is an Inhuman that popped his head around the 2011 timeframe in Marvel Comics. So it's actually from the comics, from what I read. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
All right, and then also in a stemming reversal, ABC decided to order up them some Mockingbird. Right, Jay?
Yeah. From what I understand, this is actually like a slightly different version of what they had been working on before. Apparently, they wanted some tweaks and things like that to happen, and now it's being reported as a brand new thing. So I don't know if it's I don't know how closely it is to what was originally reported on, but I mean it's the story right now is that it will be Mockingbird and Lance Hunter. And so that would very likely take them away from S.H.I.E.L.D., but since S.H.I.E.L.D. is getting the Secret Warriors, it's kind of a trade-off thing, and I don't know. As long as I get to see Adrian Palicki on TV, I'm okay.
Marvel's Most Wanted.
So, CW they've stated that there will be no more new shows out, that they are stemming the tide at what they've got, and that includes the CBS show, Supergirl. Constantine is not coming back as a full show, at least not yet, so that leaves Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Crimson Comet, go figure, Flash. Am I missing one? Is there another one? That's four.
There's the Teen Titans show that's supposed to come out on TNT.
That's going to get canceled after the pilot anyway. Come on.
Yeah, I haven't heard much warm reception on it. Anyway, CW said...
But they know drama.
Those 4 will be it. And yes, they do. But those 4 will be it and will not expand any further. This would definitely be Marvel saying, yes, we are going to go in that direction and we're going to hedge our bets. Probably because they saw the success of Flash this past year and they said, well, maybe. I don't know.
They probably also saw the success of Daredevil and were like, yeah, let's make more stuff.
On TV. Not Netflix, because Daredevil's Netflix, right? And that's a binge watch. It's a different animal.
It's still under the TV umbrella for Marvel.
Yeah, I guess, but it's just not broadcast TV. That's what I was getting at. Well, neither is CW. All right, Haley, you win. You win the Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. Dub Smash War here tonight.
I don't think this was a Dub Smash War. I don't think you understand what Dub Smash is.
I don't get that reference.
Oh.
However, what I do get is this reference to
Luke Cage!
There we go. What do we got, Lauren?
Okay, Alfre Woodard may be being cast in the miniseries that's coming up with Luke Cage. So, per Deadline, who first broke the news, Alfre Woodard will co-star as Minetta, a powerful woman in local politics who will have an impact on Luke Cage's life and who may or may not be a version of the Marvel villain Black Mariah. If so, this will be the second time Alfre Woodard's played a comic character who has been dramatically slimmed down on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Black Mariah is a comics character who is the leader of a gang, and as per her powers and abilities section on the Marvel Wikia, she has no superpowers, but she can use her extreme weight to hit with respectable force.
Mm.
And
So she
Alfre
kingpins
Woodard-
it.
Yes, she kingpins it. And Alfre Woodard has also previously played a version of Amanda Waller in the 2011 Green Lantern movie. Is it 2011 or 2009?
I don't know. But I know
Either way.
I know that she did play an evil bad overlord in the summer smash hit The Last Ship this summer.
I really like Alfre Woodard, so it would be pretty awesome to see her in Marvel.
Yeah, it would. I mean, she played in The Last Ship anyway. She played a wonderful similar character. It was just without superhero stuff. I guess she was still alive after a big plague, so that's something. So there you go. But talking about something else that's exciting, we're ramping up to next summer's movies already. Okay, granted, we got to get to Star Wars first. Star Wars first, right? Right, everybody?
Yes.
Star Wars
Yes!
Several times.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
But then next spring, early summer, whatever, we have Civil War coming at us. And the principal photography is wrapped now. Woohoo!
Yay! As of August 22nd.
Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of Civil War goodness coming at you. When do you think the reshoots will be called? Because they are always recalled for reshoots. So when
Usually it's around the time they're filming the next movie.
so when they're already in production. So yeah, okay.
Plus they've probably got a little bit of special effects work to do.
Just a bit.
And they're like, oh, we need, this scene doesn't look right, or hey, let's add something here, or stuff like that. This is, from what I understand, how that works.
But it is done. It's in the can. All the actors are alive, so we don't have to worry about a Paul Walker thing. So woohoo, here we go. Okay, so the next Blade movie could have a female. What is up with, really? That's
Yes!
cool. What's up?
Okay, so in, I guess, the comics, I haven't read the Blade comics, but according to birthmoviesdeath.com and Bleeding Cool, the new Blade is named Fallon Gray, and she's the 16-year-old daughter of the original Blade. It's Buffy the Vampire Slayer if Buffy were black and her watcher was her dad.
Nice.
So that could be kind of cool, actually.
Just a little bit, yeah.
I'd like to see sort of, a father-daughter vampire hunting team.
And I like that they're going to do something different instead of being like, well, we're going to do basically the same movie, except we're going to do it better because we're Marvel.
Yeah. Just, seriously, this is, I really love the idea of legacy characters and people taking up the mantle and things like that. And since, honestly, I really liked the first Blade movie, I'd really like to see, them take that sort of, okay, people saw it, people know the basics of the story, let's just kind of go with it from there thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is definitely going to be way better than Transfer 6. I'm telling you, way better than Transfer 6.
And then Movies Death also theorizes, what if there is no Blade movie? What if Blade is returning as a TV show, and that's the TV show that John Ridley has been quietly developing, which I don't know if the John Ridley's involved with the Marvel's Most Wanted or Mockingbird or whatever it's going to be called. Mm-hmm. No, okay, I'm looking at the showrunners and everything. No, that is not what he's involved in. So, that would be cool.
That would have been cool. Absolutely. And we have a small retraction to make courtesy of Adam in the chat. Adam, thank you very much. He says, yeah, she wasn't in Green Lantern. That was...
Oh, that was Angela Bassett?
Yeah.
I'm an idiot, and I'm kind of buzzed.
There you go. Lauren on a podcast drunk is always good. We always welcome it. So, no, it's okay, Lauren. It's okay. We got it. We got it.
We'll fix it in post. It'll be fine.
Yep. Hey, we got some Doctor Strange stuff going on.
Yes, that is a movie that's happening.
Lauren has to do the title of this one because I can't say his name.
Okay. Chiwetel Ejiofor, which I also probably... Chiwetel, yes.
Chewie!
The emphasis in the wrong place. The emphasis. Yes. So, now that they've, publicly said, yes, he's playing Baron
A lot of
Mordo,
my patients tell
they
me,
finally were able to ask him about it, and he says, yes, I'm really excited about it, and Benedict Cumberbatch is a good friend of mine, so it's going to be fun, and I'm excited to work with Tilda Swinton, which isn't really, any actual news about the movie, but since sounds like he's excited, and he's confirming, yeah, this is who I'm going to play and everything.
Adam just says, call him the operative. We all know who you mean. So from now on, Chewie, you are the operative to me, because there's no way in heck I'm ever going to get your name right. I'm sorry. Chiwetel. Well, you guys are going to have to bring me through it every single time, so I'll just say it's the operative. Chiwetel.
Angry Orchard is my friend.
There you go. Hey, talking about friends, we have a couple of things. First of all is the holiday dancing baby group Pop Funko. Yeah, I saw this. This is so cute. I'm going to get it.
It's not really that different. It just has it's a green pot with a little red bow on it. And other than that, it looks exactly like the regular dancing baby group.
Is that little red light, is it on?
No, it's on the background.
Okay.
I thought it might have been like, hey, they put little Christmas lights on him. But no, that is the Christmas tree.
You could put your own Christmas lights on him, though. A Christmas tree.
That would be awesome.
No, see, what I should do is get one of those life-size cardboard stand-ups and just put that in my living room and put a bunch of lights on it. And hey, then I got my own Christmas tree.
There you go.
And I think it was Richard who tweeted us earlier this week, tweeted the Pop Funko version of Lola and director Coulson. So, yep, that's the one I finally figured out, because I got Marty and the DeLorean on one speaker. I need Lola and...
What's his name?
Agent. His first name is Agent on the other speaker, so that is absolutely what I'm going to get. It's Director Coulson, by the way. I knew that. So we are definitely awesome into Pop Funko toys and ornaments and whatever. I've already been to Hallmark. I've already seen what ornaments I'm going to get. I just haven't gotten them yet, so it's going to be awesome. Awesome Christmas this year. Yay, holidays. Okay, but this is so cool. I'm excited about this. I just can't get the words out. So Lauren brought this up before the podcast. I saw the story myself a little bit earlier. It is so sweet. So Lauren, take us through how Groot inspired a child.
Okay, if I start crying during this,
just
you'll understand why this is just...
Why do you say if? When you say when?
Yeah, probably.
I think we're all going to.
Okay, so... On August 19th, James Gunn, reminder, director of Guardians of the Galaxy.
1 and 2.
1 and 2. And I think he also had a hand in the writing.
Yes.
Yeah. So he put on Facebook, I love making movies because of a story like this. Thank you. And he got a message from a man named Josh Dunlap. And he explained that his 4-year-old son named Sawyer has a condition called dyspraxia. What dyspraxia is, it's a kind of a neurological condition that affects motor skills, and in this case also affects his son's speech skills. And he says that when Guardians came out, Sawyer could only say about 3 words and would communicate to his mother and I by other means. When he saw Groot, something clicked inside of him, and he connected with him on a level I haven't seen. He began to mimic him and would use the word bah a lot, but after he saw the film, he would change the tone in which he said it to convey a different meaning. He would also start saying Groot for many things as well. Dunlap said that as a result of the improvement, he was finally able to go to a speech class, which helped amazingly. He concluded, I just wanted to thank you, though, for a scripted movie that was written so well that a 4-year-old, 3 at the time, could connect with someone who had the same language barrier. And then
Aw.
a bunch of other people started sharing it and saying, well, something similar happened with my kid. This woman named Shannon Culler said that her son was diagnosed with autism when he was 2, and then flash forward to him watching Guardians of the Galaxy and connecting with the soundtrack and Groot and making a costume. And yeah, it's just all these little kids just being able to relate. We've talked about that kid who I think was autistic and realized that because he was really literal, he could relate to Drax and was like, oh, I can be a superhero.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know,
Yeah, just, oh, God.
so I think this happened before you were on the Cast Learn, and I don't know, Jay, if you remember this at all, but it was back when Will was on the podcast, and he went to Paley Fest back a couple years ago, and he was taking some audio and whatever, but I actually got to see the video because they were live streaming the panel, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. panel. And remember that one handicapped girl that just, she couldn't get the words out, and then Clark Gregg just literally jumped off the stage and went to her and hugged her. You remember that, Haley?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was, I just love how all Marvel, it doesn't matter who you are, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, you know, down to the cameraman, really, it's awesome. And by cameraman, yes, I'm talking about you, Brett Dalton. There you go. So it's great. I love these stories, and that's why we have a cool stuff section in the news. So moving on to comics, Lance Hunter is addicted to Marvel Comics. Just imagine that.
It's less addicted and more possibly being added.
There
Or
you go.
shoehorned in.
Yeah. So, according to bleedingcool.com, they're considering adding in Lance Hunter as the ex-husband in Mockingbird's story, because according to who was this? Chelsea Kane, who's a writer. The studio, in quotes, wanted Hunter in the anniversary issue so as not to confuse things, in parentheses, more. They never call the studio by name. It's always just the studio.
The studio.
So,
Which I think this is the first time someone from the comics side has officially said, yes, we're getting notes from the movie TV side, and that's kind of directing what we're doing with a lot of these comic book stories.
It's in everybody's best interest. I mean, Jay, if you're running multiple different sorts of media into an interactive story, you'd want to pass notes back and forth, and it'd probably be the one that's making the most money would have the biggest tail to wag. That's just my thoughts. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that you have to consider here is that, you know, while the comics may have been the basis that all of this was built on, that's not what's bringing in the money anymore. So now you're trying, instead of getting all the comic book geeks to the movies, now you're trying to get all of the movie buffs and the people that watch TV shows into the comic shops. And you're not going to do that by having, you know, stuff that's completely unrelated to what they're seeing on TV. They want to go and see the continuation of those stories. So it makes more sense that you're going to say, okay, let's get the bigger audience and appeal to them instead of, you know, appeasing the small but vocal masses who, you know, just want consistent continuity. And
Well, there's also the people on the creative side in the comics who are now limited in what they can do with storytelling because they've got to fit in to what the TV and movie side is doing.
Mm-hmm. Like not have any more Fantastic Four comics?
no big loss there.
Yeah, it's fine. Reed Richards can just go be professor somewhere.
Yeah, but everybody wants Dr. Doom, so, you know.
yeah,
Well, I bet
so
they're gonna
that's why
keep
we're
using
You do
having...
him right.
Fair enough. Now, none of us have actually seen the movie, though, right?
No.
I'm in no hurry.
Yeah. I'll see it when it's on FX on a Saturday afternoon when I'm sick or something.
I'll see it
Some
when somebody
commercial breaks.
pays me a substantial amount of money to torture myself for 2 hours.
There you go.
I'm going to see it at some point just because I have to.
Yeah.
But, like I said, no rush.
And as we mentioned before, Star Wars is coming up in December. Don't forget about our Star Wars bets. If you have Listener, if you have an idea of how much money Star Wars is going to make, don't forget to give us that information. We'll just add it to the network list that was started by the operator from Legends Podcast. And we wish Operator well in his new endeavors. All right. Are you guys ready to get some feedback?
Yay!
As I mentioned before, Jeannie at ISIS, she tweeted us the start of the Dub Smash Wars. We really appreciate that. We really do. We absolutely do. And Richard at Kodiak GWC, thank you for your continued tweets and your concern about how we're doing. We really appreciate that. And he tweeted us a story of, it looks like Season 3 will be packed with new characters. And it was a story from Marvel Entertainment. We really appreciate that as well. And getting back, I think I've dropped this off the last couple of podcasts, so I'll have to go back as we finish off Daredevil next week and make sure we have all of Andy's emails. But he emailed us on episode 12 from April 19th. And he said, rewatch since the first time I was getting tired. And as I was watching this, by the way, I did not watch this on the treadmill. And I did not watch this on the treadmill because my treadmill activities have now gotten to the point where I cannot hold a phone because I'm running too hard and too fast. So just
so fast.
Yes, so fast. Whoosh, like Flash.
Training to be the Flash.
Just a little bit, yep. So
he's running like a dork.
Yeah, that's true. But I had Cisco come in and fix my treadmill, so it was all great. So anyway, he said, rewatch since the first time I was getting tired, and he's got some great thoughts in here. Eve thought at the beginning Karen only dreamed of him. How big of a surprise was it to you that Marcy would help them? Yeah, that was actually a surprise, because I thought she was going to be a big baddie, and she turned around and helped them, so that was pretty cool. And of course, I remember this discussion from April, the amount of water towers on top of the buildings in Hell's Kitchen. Like, that was a big thing, and Marvel actually had to come out and say, no, we actually got this from actual buildings, and there are a lot of water towers because every building needs like a portion or several water towers, from a portion of a water tower to several water towers in order to function. And that's true, because you got everything from the cooling systems to the water that people drink and use for baths and washing clothes and stuff like that, including Karen's shower, that sort of stuff.
You've already got the building built, so there's no need to build separate towers. That'd be dumb.
Just put another one up there, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. So thank you very much, Andy. We really appreciate your email. We will definitely get them all caught up next time. I'm talking about next time. We mentioned it before. I'll mention it again. We do have Daredevil episode 13. Daredevil. No, I did not just repeat myself. It's actually called Daredevil. And we have our wonderful guest, Kier, rounding out the GPR trio, because we have Haley and Jay with us tonight, so Kier will be back next week, rounding out Daredevil for the summer. And we have a lot of great ways to contact us, don't we, Haley?
Yeah, website is always a great place to go if you need to find any of our information. That's legendsofshield.com. Our voicemail line is 844-THE-BUS-1. 844-843-2871. You can hit us up on our Facebook page, Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. Podcast. We have a Twitter account, @Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. A Tumblr where you can see all of our old show notes, legendsofshield.tumblr.com. There's some other cool stuff there, too. You can find all of our episodes on Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. on YouTube as well. And then the forums, forums.gonnageek.com. And the Tapper Talk app, where you just have to search for Gonna Geek.
All one word, no spaces. There you go. So, Jay, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. You have been a very welcome addition to the podcast this summer, talking about Daredevil, one of your favorite things to do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this has been absolutely great going back through the series with you guys and catching up on it and doing it in a more timely fashion than just, over the course of 2 days.
I know.
So
I picked up a lot more from this episode specifically because I think I was just worn down by the 12th hour. That was for sure. So, go ahead.
It's so great to really be able to find all of the stuff that you missed, because if you do go through the whole thing all in one sitting, it's an amazing ride, but you miss a lot. And this show is so dense, and I mean, there's not a moment that's wasted. So just finding all those little things that you kind of just blew right past the first time is a great reason to go back and watch it over and over again.
Absolutely. So if somebody likes what they hear and wants to find you, where can they find you?
They can go over to GallifreyPublicRadio.com, find me there. You can also find some of the previous stuff I've done at Starling Tribune, and occasionally on Gonna Geek when they can't find anyone better.
When they're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Pretty much, yeah.
All you need is a webcam and a mic these days, let me tell you. They'll let anybody on. So, yes, thank you very much, Jay. And Gallifrey Public Radio with Doctor Who coming up. I'm excited about Series 9. It's going to be a fun ride.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you to everybody. Thank you for our listeners and everybody in the chat. We really appreciate the interaction every week. We really do. This is fun to do, and we wouldn't be doing it without you. Let me tell you, I wouldn't be going through the pain of setting up a live broadcast if we didn't appreciate you guys. Right, Lauren?
Yep.
And then Tuesdays, Lauren, you are still live tweeting whatever we're talking about the next day, right?
Yes, this is true. Unless something absolutely catastrophic happens, look for me at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. Next week, it'll be the finale of Daredevil. And other than that, it's just whatever we're watching. Soon it will be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again.
Woo-hoo! Agent Carter and Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones!
And Star Wars, even though, it's not Marvel, but we're all excited for it. So, there you go. So, Haley, what do you got?
Well, we appreciate every single listener we have, and you should let us express that appreciation by entering our Ant-Man crate giveaway. We love you all, but one of you can get some sweet swag.
I will ship it
get on that.
Anywhere in the world. If you're on Easter Island, if you're in Antarctica, if you're in Iceland, I don't care. I will ship it to you. Just give us a funny review of Ant-Man, because it was a funny movie.
And it's some pretty sweet swag, let me say.
It is. Gotta love
you
my
want this. Right? You want this stuff.
I'm so glad. I mean, I get one as well for me, and it is. I'm glad I did, because I've got a Veronica, I've got an Ant-Man. It's just I'm loving the Pop Funkos. I never thought I would. I do love them.
They're so amazing.
They are. All right. Until next week, I'm Agent Stargate Pioneer.
I'm Agent Haley.
I'm Agent Lauren.
And I'm Jay Whitten, Avocado at Law.
Bye. Thanks. See you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you want to leave us feedback, go to gunnageek.com and you will find all of our contact information and other shows. You can also visit legendsofshield.com, where you'll find our complete archive of podcasts. The music heard on this podcast is by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com. The opinions heard on this podcast are those of the individual host and do not represent Legends, Stream, or Gonna Geek. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the property of the Disney Corporation. No infringement is intended.